Welcome to today's episode. We're exploring Beyond Numbers, Gideon's playbook for effective leadership and productivity. Gideon's story isn't just an ancient battle tale, it's a blueprint for how strategy, focus, and the right mindset can outweigh sheer numbers. In this video, we'll uncover practical lessons from his journey and show how they apply to leadership, teamwork, and productivity in today's world. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get right into it. Building on the brief summary and the 5 smart work lessons, here's a deeper dive that connects ancient narrative wisdom with contemporary workflows, leadership, and personal productivity. I'll expand each section with practical applications, potential pitfalls, and concrete examples. Gideon's story is found in the book of Judges, chapters 6 to 8. The Israelites were being oppressed by the Midianites, and God chose Gideon, an ordinary man who saw himself as the least in his family, to lead them. At first, Gideon doubted and asked God for signs, like the famous fleece test, to be sure of his calling. When it came time for battle, Gideon started with 32,000 men. But God reduced the number step by step until only 300 remained, to show that victory would come through divine strategy, not human strength. Armed with trumpets, jars, and torches instead of swords, Gideon's small army created confusion in the Midianite camp, leading to a great victory. His story is often remembered as a lesson in courage, faith, and the power of strategy over sheer numbers. Here, we will understand the smart work lessons from the Gideon story within a conventional relational context, helping you to understand true authority and success. 1. Quality over quantity. Impact comes from high leverage, well-prepared components rather than sheer volume. Practical applications. A. Assemble a skeleton crew with critical skills and decision makers. Ensure they have clear authority and time to focus. B. Define a minimal viable coalition, the smallest group needed to execute the plan with accountability. C. Invest in capability, not just capacity, training, tools, and access to critical information. Common pitfalls. Equating thin staffing with inefficiency. Balance lean teams with required expertise and redundancy for risk management. Over-optimizing for speed at the expense of quality, build in checkpoints to maintain standards. Metrics, outcome per team member, cycle time for critical decisions, defect rate in deliverables. 2. Trust and follow wise guidance. Wise guidance, data, mentors, or credible frameworks helps you avoid costly missteps. Practical applications. A. Establish decision rights, who signs off on what, and what warrants consultation. B. Use lightweight decision aids, risk assessments, scenario planning, and pre-mortems. C. Create a feedback loop, post-action reviews to internalize lessons and adjust plans. Common pitfalls. Indecision by over-reliance on consensus or analysis paralysis. Dismissing counter-evidence due to cognitive biases, confirmation bias, sunk cost. Metrics, percentage of decisions with data support, time to decision, rate of decision abandonment after review. 3. Use strategy over force. Creative, non-kinetic approaches can outperform brute force. Practical applications. A. Map the enemy's psychology or stakeholder perspectives. What motivates them? What creates uncertainty? B. Leverage surprise and misdirection with clear, ethical boundaries. C. Build modular strategies, small, adaptable plays rather than a single monolithic plan. Common pitfalls. Underestimating ethical implications of strategic deception. Overtight coupling of tactic to a single context needs adaptation. Metrics, percentage of outcomes achieved via non-traditional methods, adaptability score in changing conditions. For efficiency and focus. Trim not just processes but aims to what truly matters, streamline to improve velocity. Practical applications. A. Conduct a mission-critical scoping exercise. What must be done to achieve success? B. Use constraint-based planning. Set 1 or 2 key bottlenecks and optimize around them. C. Implement ruthless prioritization. Use a simple rubric to rank initiatives by impact, urgency, and risk. Common pitfalls. Cutting too aggressively and starving essential capabilities. Proliferation of nice-to-have tasks that balloon scope. Metrics: time to deliver for top priority tasks, resource utilization, throughput per week. 5. Psychological insight. Understanding the mental and emotional state of the opponent, competitors, market conditions, or internal stakeholders enables targeted impact. Practical applications. A. Stakeholder mapping: who influences outcomes, what pressures drive them, how to motivate alignment. B. Narrative framing: craft compelling stories around the plan to reduce resistance and build buy-in. C. Risk perception management: acknowledge fears and offer transparent mitigation strategies. Common pitfalls: manipulative tactics that harm trust and long-term relationships. Ignoring organizational culture and morale in strategic moves. Metrics: stakeholder engagement scores, perceived clarity of the plan, crisis response effectiveness. Next, let's look at the modern work takeaways and implementation guide. Bigger teams and more hours do not automatically yield better outcomes. The right mix of people, plan, and disciplined execution wins. Alignment with data and intuition. Use data to illuminate the high-impact areas, but don't ignore professional intuition informed by experience. Combine quantitative metrics with qualitative signals, team morale, customer sentiment, strategy and creativity as core competencies. Develop a habit of scenario planning, imagine multiple futures and outline responsive plays. Encourage experimentation with bounded risk, small pilots that can scale if successful. Operational playbook. Build a lean, cross-functional core team of 4 to 7 people plus a rotating advisory pool. Establish a rapid review cadence, daily stand-ups with clear decision points and a concise deck summarizing risks and decisions. Create a red team or devil's advocate role to stress test plans. Practical exercises and reflections. Reflection prompts. When have I relied more on effort than leverage? What would a leaner, smarter move look like? Who is the best source of truth for my current project, and how can I better align with that guidance? What is the minimum viable plan that could succeed in the next 30 days? What would I cut to make it feasible? Exercises. Build a 30-day action plan centered on one high-impact objective using a lean team approach. Conduct a post-mortem after a project phase focusing on what leverage points were ignored or underutilized. Run a quick blue team or red team exercise, outline the plan and the strongest counter-arguments to it, then refine. Cautions and ethics. Avoid glorifying deception or manipulation. Strategy can be powerful, but it should be ethical, transparent, and sustainable. Remember the broader consequences: team trust, organizational culture, and long-term capability matter as much as short-term wins. Be wary of misapplying ancient tactics to modern contexts without adaptation to technology, governance, and compliance requirements. A quick summary to today's topic. Value the right people and capabilities. Don't go it alone, use data and mentors. Leverage clever, ethical tactics and flexible plans. Trim scope to what matters, avoid wasted effort. Know your audience and actors, plan with empathy and clarity. Big teams aren't a blanket predictor of success, smart, strategic execution wins. We appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and hit subscribe to stay connected with more inspiring content.